Hello CraftDee family, and welcome to another tutorial by She's So Crafty. For today's DIY project, we'll be creating some farmhouse style decor featuring a rustic frame with hanging planters. Now this piece is made from solid wood and the galvanized planters are from Dollar Tree. Now this piece is so versatile and it can be easily converted into a shelving unit to display all of your trinkets as well. Now I'll be showing you how to achieve both looks in this tutorial, and I have provided the list of supplies and tools I used to make this project in the description box below. Now I am so ready to dive right into this tutorial, but before we start, I have to say hey and welcome back to my amazing subscribers and visitors to my channel. Now if you are a new visitor to my channel today and you love to create fun and easy DIY projects on a budget, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and also click the notification bell so you will be the first to know when a new DIY tutorial is ready to share with you. So now let's jump right into the project. Now we're going to start with 3 of these metal planters from the Dollar Tree. Now what I'm going to do with these planters is I'm going to drill a hole on each side to hold a piece of jute twine. So we're going to line that hole up on each side, making sure that center seam is down the back. So here I'm just taking a Sharpie and I'm going to mark where I want to drill my side holes. Now you want to just choose a drill bit that is big enough to run your jute twine through. Now I'm just going to go about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch below my marking to drill the hole through the metal. Now once that first hole is drilled, you want to repeat this on the other side. And now we're going to repeat this process for your other 2 containers until all 3 have the 2 holes to hang your pots. So now I'm going to use some of this jute twine from the Crafter Square in the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to cut 3 long pieces. Now I'm going to take one of those pieces and I am going to thread it from the outside in, and what I'm going to do is I'll be hanging these, and I need to adjust the rope when my frame is made, but for now I'm just going to put a very loose knot on the inside just to have that string held into place. And I'm going to repeat this for the other 2 pots. And once they're done, just sit those over to the side. So now we're going to work on the frame, and I'm going to be using some 1x4s from the Home Depot. Now these 1x4s are furring strips from the Home Depot, and they're really reasonably priced for $2.98 for an 8 feet long piece. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut that piece down into 4 pieces measuring 23 inches each, and the Home Depot should be able to cut this for you. Now we're going to take those 4 pieces and we are going to lay them out into a square, and we just want to make sure the edge that we want exposed on the front of our shelf is facing up. Now to bond these, I'm going to be using my Sure Bonder glue gun with these hot glue sticks. Now this will only hold for temporary purposes because I will be using screws to permanently secure these into place. So I'm just going to apply some of that Sure Bonder wood glue, hot glue, into the edge, and then I'm going to press them together. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat this all the way around the frame, making sure I use a generous amount of that wood glue to just hold it into place. And here are all 4 corners secured into place. Now I did mention that I will be screwing this together to make sure it's sturdy, and I'll be using some of these number 6 1 3/4 wood screws. Now to secure my screws in, I'm first going to go ahead and drill a pilot hole, and I'm going to drill 2 pilot holes into each corner. Now once all of my pilot holes are drilled into each corner, I can apply my screws. So I'm just going to take a screw and I'm going to start by hand threading it in, and then taking my drill and screwing it all the way into the wood piece until it's flush. And here are both of my wood screws all secured into place. Now you want to repeat this all the way around the frame until it's all finished. So now what we're going to do is paint our frame, and I'm going to start by using this elephant gray acrylic paint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it like a wash. So what I'm going to do is take my chip brush and I'm going to heavily saturate it in water, and then I'm just going to dab some of that elephant gray acrylic paint, and I just want to wash it onto the wood. Now it doesn't really have to be neat because this will be an underlayment color. Now you want to repeat this process all the way around the frame, on the outside, the edge, and the inside of the frame, and this is what it will look like once it's all covered. Now once that frame is all nice and dry, you can move on to the next step, which is using some candles to rub it all over the surface. Now these are just some Dollar Tree taper candles, and you just want to rub it all over your painted surfaces. And now that wax is all over the surfaces, and this will provide the perfect base to do some of our distressing. Now to cover up that waxy coating, I'm going to use some of this white acrylic paint to cover it up, and I'm just going to put one nice coat over it. You could also use chalk paint, but acrylic paint is so inexpensive, I thought I would go ahead and use this and it will achieve the same look. And here is my frame all coated in white and completely dried. So now what we're going to do is figure out how we want to hang our planters, and there's a couple of different ways you can do this. So an easy way is just to take that jute string from your pots and just loop it around the top and let it hang that way, and that would be a very super easy way to do it. Now you could also take your drill and you can drill 3 holes in the top of your frame to actually tie your jute string through, and that's another alternative. Now the method that I'm going to choose are these screw hooks, and I just had these on hand, but they're available at any hardware store or even Walmart, and they're really inexpensive. They have a screw in, and the good thing is you don't have to use pilot holes to put these in. So to install these, I'm just going to find out the center of the top of my frame and make a mark there. Then I'm going to take one of those screw hooks in the middle of the top of the frame on the inside and just screw it into place. And then for the next hook, I am just going to kind of eyeball it near the edge, the other end, and then I'm just going to screw that into place as well. Now to make sure that the last hook that you put in is equal distance from the edge as the other one on the end, I'm just transferring that measurement over to the other side, and I'm going to screw in that third hook. Now the screws on these are short enough where they won't go through the top side, but you always want to check. So now what you do is just go ahead and take your pots, and you can use that string now to adjust the length of the pots that you want them to hang. And this is a reason why I didn't tie it off immediately. I left it really loose so you could just do any kind of adjustments that you like. Now once they are adjusted to the length that you do like, I'm just going to take that string on the inside and just tie it in a knot across the middle. You can cut it and tie knots on each side, but I found this to be easier in case I wanted to make any adjustments in the future. Now I didn't like the color of my hooks, I kind of wanted them to blend in, so I'm just going to dab them with some of this white acrylic paint and let them dry. Now I did want to add shelves to my unit, so I have a second 1x4 and then I cut into 2 pieces, and I wanted to cut them at 22 3/4 inches so they will fit snugly inside the frame. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint these and distress them the same way I did as my original frame. So now I'm going to take my tape measure and I'm going to measure and divide the space into about 7 inches, since it's just a little bit over 21 inches opening. So I'm making a mark at 7 inches and one at 14 inches. So then I'm just going to go ahead, and I did draw a line where those markings were, so I'll know where my shelves will sit. Now, just to make sure that they fit to my liking and they look like the way I wanted them to, I'm just gonna just stick my shelves in there, take a look, and everything looks good. Now, you can put your shelves a few ways. You can use these commercial style shelf supports here. You can actually use some cut dowels from the Dollar Tree, and you can cut them down to support those shelves as well. Now, what I'm going to be using are shelf pins. I have a ton of these on hand, so I'm just going to be using these shelf pins to support my shelves in this project, and I'll link those in the description box as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a drill bit the size of your shelf pin's base, and you're going to carefully drill holes right underneath that line that you drew. You want to make sure you go in about a 1/2 inch, and just do this slowly. You do want to make sure you don't go through the other side. And here are my 2 holes for the shelf pins. Now I'm just sticking those in right now just to test them out before I continue to drill the remainder of my shelf pins and make sure everything is okay. So now that everything is all drilled and ready to go, we can actually start distressing our frame. I like to save this for last because it's so much fun. So I'm just taking Dollar Tree putty knife, and I'm just scraping along that painted surface, and you'll see that that beautiful gray color is coming through when you scrape it. I just love the way that this looks. It looks like a natural distressing, a little bit of weathered and aged look, and here are both shelves fully distressed. Now once that's done, we can go ahead and distress our frame as well. Again, just lightly scrape it with your putty knife, and you can do as little or as much distressing as you like. You just want to continue it until you are happy. And so here is my frame all distressed on the inside and out, just scraping away that paint. So now I'm just going to put my shelf pins in, and I'm going to test out my shelves and see how everything looks. And it looks like everything is okay. So to hang our shelf, all we're going to use are these sawtooth hangers. I believe I got these in a kit from the Dollar Tree, and these attach with 2 nails. So I'm just going to place one of the sawtooth hangers in near one of the corners, and I'm going to use these tiny nails to nail them in. They're about 1 inch long, and I like to use needle nose pliers to hold them so I don't bang up my fingers. So I'm just going to nail those in and put 1 nail in each end. And here is what the hanger will look like. And so now you're just going to repeat the process on the other end until both of those sawtooth hangers are in place. So now all you have to do is assemble everything together and choose how you want to display them. Now I chose to use some of this Boxwood and some of this Dollar Tree Wildflower for my pots, but you could use whatever you like. And here is that rustic frame with the metal planters on display. Oh my goodness, I just think that this is just so adorable. Now I love the way that the staggered pots look in the frame and how you're able to adjust them if you need to. And I think that the distressed wood look of the wood is so great. Now I added a little buffalo check ribbon to the pots too, and you could customize them however you like. And you all know I just couldn't stop there. I added a few shelves to the piece and changed up the look. So now you can style these with all of your favorite trinkets to match your own home decor and style. Now I'll be sure to put the tutorial link in the description box for these Farm Fresh Dollar Tree jars. And I'll be sure to also link the hobnail style vases up top too. Now be sure to let me know what you think of this project in the description box below. Listen, if you love DIYs on a budget, please give this video a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Make sure that you're following She's So Crafty EE on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest for the latest news, sneak peeks, and giveaways. Now, if you like videos like these and you don't want to miss the next one, make sure you're subscribed by clicking that subscribe button below, or just click on my She's So Crafty logo on your screen and then click on the bell. It's absolutely free. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.